Oh my goodness. As many of you probably already know, Canon has leaked, or well, Canon may not have done this, but there have been leaks of the new Canon, what are they calling it? The Canon R mirrorless camera. And let me just say, you see the title of this video, it says Canon kills Nikon or whatever. It's so true. Based on the specs, the leak specs we're starting to get in, it looks like this camera is summing up to be an amazing mirrorless full frame camera. And so I'm going to have my brother read some of the specs, and also we're going to show you some of the leaked images that they put up as well. They pretty much, if this is all true, they're pretty much destroying Nikon. It's going to be easy. So let's talk about the camera for a minute. What's kind of the specs going on with the camera?
Okay, well, let's just run down some very simple ones, because there's going to be technical ones, and we'll put a link down in the description below if you want to see the full specification. We're not going to be like telling you every single thing.
Right, exactly.
Let's cover some of the important stuff. So, obviously, you know, this is a full frame CMOS sensor. This is going to be 30.3 megapixels. It is going to have Canon's patented dual pixel AF. This is amazing. They are mentioning 4K video. Now, me and my brother have been talking about this, and we are hoping, if Canon does not shoot itself in the foot, that this will be full frame 4K, like a lot of its competitors.
Yeah.
Nikon.
Even Nikon, which, okay, here's what I'm saying. If Canon does not do 4K full frame video at least 30 frames, it's really, I think for the Canon community, like I can't exactly speak for the Canon community, but sort of like with the Nikon community where they were disappointed about the single card slot. If Canon only does 4K cropped, everybody's going to be extremely disappointed. But I think they've learned from that mistake with the 5D Mark IV. I think it was cropped, 4K cropped, I believe.
Well, I think either that or it was just massive files that was just really uneditable.
That's true. It is big file. I don't think they're not uneditable. They're just really big
massive
files.
And they just take up a lot of space. Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
So now here comes some of the obvious things we come to expect from Canon. Touchscreen LCD, articulating screen, that means the pop out, not like the flippy thing like on the D750 or any other competitor camera.
Gonna make it a great vlogging camera.
Yes.
For people who want to do vlogs and stick within the Canon system, it's gonna be a great vlogging camera.
Yeah.
Or at least it's looking like it's gonna be a great vlogging camera.
Yep. It's gonna have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, microphone jack, headphone jack. That's good for one man, one woman, or one platypus band if you are identifying as a platypus. I don't know. We can edit that out. Dustproof, drift-proof. That does not mean you can go into the water and swim and vlog. That's dumb because there are ports on there that are probably still exposed, so please don't. There's going to be a magnesium body. That means that the inside of the camera is going to be metal. The outside is going to be grippable plastic. It's amazing. It's awesome. You know about this. There's going to be a new battery. I don't know if this is actually new, but it's LPE69 or N. Sorry, that's not a number. Battery grip is the BGE22. That means new battery grip. That's going to be awesome.
And battery grip. It's a battery grip, not a... Actually, wait a minute.
It's a battery grip.
Battery grip. Canon. Don't mess up like Nikon.
Please don't.
Put a vertical shutter button on there.
Yes. Please, don't hurt the good Canon people, Canon, because you have a fan base. Don't shoot yourself. Okay, now the rest of it is just... you know, some simple stuff like the size, weight, mount. You can check that out. It's boring. None of it is as fun as 4K and articulating screens.
And they're rumors, like we said. But we're going to assume that this is correct.
But here's another thing real quick. They are doing a mount adapter just like Nikon is doing. They're expecting it's going to be the EF to EOS R. So that means crop sensor people... unfortunately, you're going to be left out in the first round. That does not mean that you are not going to get a EFS to EOS R.
While we're at it, it is a new mount, thus the adapter. It is the RF mount, I believe is what they're calling it.
That's what they are calling it. And we do have some supposed leak specifications for new lenses.
This is where it gets really interesting, right? Most of you know, background, I'm a Nikon guy. I am getting the Nikon mirrorless camera, the Z6, right? Don't judge me. But anyway, so the thing is, Nikon's introductory lenses, and I've said this in the comments, I haven't publicly said this like on a video, but I'll say it here. I'm not impressed. They don't look like great lenses. All the reports are coming in that they're really crappy lenses. Yeah, they're made of metal, but they're not great lenses. And considering Nikon boasted the Z mount to be so capable of doing like really like wide
reinvented.
Yeah, mirrorless reinvented. But like wide open, like super wide open, like the 0.95. For them to release 1.8 lenses and an f4 lens is kind of a slap in the face to people. So this is where I get interesting. So what are the lenses that Canon appears to be releasing?
Well, the ones that they're talking about here might be considered a slap in the face because the ones I'm reading here are the Canon RF 35mm 1.8. So this is kind of like, you could say, a more entry aperture for a 35. Maybe somebody would have a higher up aperture, but a 1.8 is still fine. It's an IS as well, so it's image stabilized. So that's amazing.
And STM, so it's going to be really quiet for video and all of that type of stuff as well.
Good stepper motor. We also know that they are going to release a Canon RF 20 to 105. So this is not a 24 to 70 or whatever you're used to on other full frame cameras. This is a 24 to 105. And this is an F4LIS USM. That's an ultrasonic motor, so that's going to be a little louder for the video unless you are using a lapel or a mic that won't pick up on the kind of sounds.
Instead of using like a shotgun on the camera, you know, that type of stuff.
But
honestly, it's still going to be pretty quiet. It's not going to be like
you're not gonna hear it unless you probably like really listen, and it's like constantly, because if you get the focus on a Canon camera with that dual pixel autofocus, it's not going to change unless you decide to step out of the frame or go really far back where it can't pick you up. But the other thing, and we'll include it down in the description below if you want to check these out as well, they are also talking about a 51.2
and a 28 to 70 f2 constant. So that's a 28 to 70 zoom lens that is an f2, which means that when you're at 28, it's f2. When you're at 70, it's at f2. That's like a slap in the face to the Nikon 24 to 70 f4. I mean, like, that's amazing. A f2 28 to 70.
That's not an f2.8, folks. It's an f2. That's 0.8 higher.
Yes.
Like you were saying, this in a sense, because I'm about to say I'm a Nikon shooter. I'm a Canon shooter. I do video on Canon. I don't do it professionally. My brother does the photography stuff professionally. I just like using Canon because it's just something that I got into as a guy who wanted to use it for YouTube and stuff. But these gives you more range, if you will, because one, you're having a full frame 50 on a full frame mount. That's going to give you full frame 50. That's going to give you 50, not 75, 80, whatever the crop sensor equivalent is. That's 50, and that's a 1.2. That's going to be super bright. The current Canon on any mount, whether it be full frame or crop, is 1.4. That's bright.
No, they have an f1.2 now.
Oh, yes, right. I forgot about that one.
They do have a 1.2 now. But I think what we're getting at here is the fact that Canon is... Now, we don't know if these are going to be released with the new mirrorless system, but what we can say is that if they are, then it's really going to be a great investment for Canon shooters. There's one more thing we forgot to mention. Now, this is not official, but based on what the pictures look like, it appears that this camera may only have one card slot as well, assuming the SD card. I'm guessing it's going to be a UHS-1, not a UHS-2, but maybe they will throw a UHS-2 in this camera. Like I said about the Nikon, for some people that will be a deal breaker to shoot with this professionally if they're wanting to shoot with this professionally. But if it doesn't bother you, if you don't shoot redundantly or overflow or anything, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Like I said, guys, you know, if you're in the Nikon system already, you're going to stick with Nikon. If you're in the Canon system already, most of you are most likely going to stick with Canon. And if you're in Sony, obviously you're probably going to stick with Sony. At the end of the day, yeah, some cameras may be on paper better than others, but, you know...
It's on paper.
It's on paper, and looking at this Canon on paper, it looks like a great value. Yeah. And if they can keep it at $2,000 or under, it's definitely going to be, in my opinion, better than the Nikon and probably a better seller. And you may even see some Sony people switch back to Canon.
It's going to give a lot of Canons. It's going to give Nikon, Panasonic, and possibly Sony a run for their money. Possibly.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyways, guys, we want to know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited about this new Canon camera? If not, let us know. What do you want to see in it? If there was something that wasn't mentioned in the specs that we read, I'm curious what you want to see. So anyway, thanks for watching. On behalf of my brother and I, Belingle out.